What's up, guys? It's Scion. I am back, and we are going to talk about stats today. Now, they added the rune stones in, as you can see right here, and that changes the dynamic on how you can build characters and make certain characters better to actually overall use. So, let's just go in, and the main things that you can actually change are the 5 secondary stats, whether it's initiative, critical, injury, control, and combo. Alright, so we're going to actually talk about one in particular right now, and I'm just going to explain to you how that necessarily works. Alright, so if you look at Sage Naruto, most people use Sage Naruto as a tanky slash initiator who's going to start a launcher and basically start our first round combo on the team. Now, that's the Sage Art Rasen Barrage, which you can see right there, and it has a certain chance to hit on go float. Now the chance is also like just basically equal to combo chance. So what you want to have is a high combo chance. So go into detail and see the combo that I got going on right now is 2127. I want that as high as possible because I want him to do that, which he actually does do that a lot. So me going in on Runestone, you see right here, I want his runestones to be as high as possible. That's where the runestone comes into it, like, you know, working on builds. Now on top of that, I need him to be able to take a hit because he says Naruto, I don't want him to freaking die. So what I also need him to actually do is I need injury and not that one, injury and critical. And you're gonna wonder why critical, because if you look at the stats right here, crit attack is increase the probability of a critical attack and reduce the probability of suffering a critical attack, which if he's in the front, he's supposed to be tanking. I don't want him to be suffering critical attacks. On top of being extra defense and having that life, and you also throw injury into that, increases the damage of a critical hit and reduces the damage suffered by a critical hit. So if they do actually get by the critical hit percentage, then it won't do that much damage to me because I have good injury. That's what you want on your main two guys. So I have it a little bit on, I have a lot on Sage Naruto and a good deal, as you can see, on my main character because he's in front as well. So that's how you pretty much go to, you know, just basically building. You can do the same thing when it comes to ninjutsu. You want to actually have the critical out there as pretty high because you want crit heals and you want your ninjutsu high, and you want to actually put injury on everybody so they don't sit there and get wiped out by a super high critical. This is very important. This is very important in rank battle. Is very important, and just in everything overall, that you lessen the damage that you take. Along with your, I'll show you real quick, along with your damage reduction needs to be pretty good as well. That leads to having very tanky characters and being able to go a long way, and it also correlates to everything in rank battle with all 12 of your characters because they all share the stats from each of the slots. So just make sure, pay close attention to that. Now, the way all of this changes things is it makes certain characters be a lot more viable that wouldn't necessarily be viable. Say you throw Conan out there, which is one of the reasons why she's here. Conan baseline is not really a tanky character. She has a tanky passive, which she just, you know, dodges once and everything like that, but she's not really a tanky character. If you throw those actual stats that I put out there on top of her, then she can actually take a little bit of a hit. Growth wise, she's never going to take a hit, and let me actually address something with growth. Just once again, when you guys talk about, hey, well, you know, she you didn't awaken her, or she needs to, when she's awakened, she may actually take a hit. That is not the case. That's not the way growth works in this game. Growth is a base stat that actually grows upon itself. So if you're at a certain level of growth, when you're level 1, if your defense sucks at level 100. Doesn't matter if you're star 4 or 5 or a billion, it's still always going to suck, because at the same time that character has gotten growth, whoever you're fighting has the same level of growth majority of the time. unless they just didn't, awaken their character or something like that, then that's their fault. And if you put them alongside the same type of growth, the same type of level, somebody who has good attack is going to still wipe out Conan, even if she's at star 5, because just because she's like, say if I put her growth up to like 1500 or something like that, her defense growth, it's still low. The baseline growth is still the same. It's just that she just got to 1500. But so to speak, if you end up facing somebody who has the high attack like this, or come through and somebody like Sage Naruto, you have to put into the fact that Sage Naruto attacks with attack and ninjutsu growth, which really means that this is more like 1900 rather than just attack and whatever else, because that's just the way his skills work. He's still going to put a hurt on Conan when he actually hits her after that dodge. So you have to really understand that, dog, it's just not going to be a point of you saying, okay, I got my character star 5, let me throw her out there and she's going to tank. That's not going to work. That she's going to get her ass kicked, and she should not be like that. You better stuff some gear on her or something else. However, here's the other side of that. With the rune system, you can now lower the amount of damage that's going to happen to her with injury and crit attack. So if you stuff some pretty good, like if let's say you got level 6s or 7s crit attack and injury on Conan in the front, she won't take that same amount of damage. She's still going to be squishy, she's still going to get hit, and it's going to hurt her, but she won't take the same amount of damage. She might actually live a little while longer. That's how you kind of make a non-tanky character tanky. That goes for any character that you can do that with. If you really feel the need that you need to put that character in front, you can do that with damn near any character and break the norm. But don't do it based off of growth, thinking that you just, if you think that you just gonna always put that character there. What growth really means in this game is how hard is it to put somebody in a certain situation. That's what growth really means in this game. As an attacker, if the character doesn't have a really good attack, you need to do a lot more in resources with rune stones, with Magitam and everything else to make that character a good attacker. And the same goes for a defensive character. If they don't have really good defense, what that means is that even with let me go down over here, that even with you actually having the person at star 5, that means you still have to work to make that person a good defensive character. You have to work harder than if you say put Kimimaru there, which is just defense personified. He got the life, he got the defense, he got the resistance. That means that he doesn't have to work that hard to actually be resistant with defensive wise. The same thing goes for Sage Naruto, and the same thing goes actually for Hashirama, except that he has good resistance, but his overall defensive growth is a bit suspect. So you have to actually protect him on the defensive side with that. So that again means that if you go into 8 inner gates, let me go over here, down to here, I need to up this more. I need to concentrate on that more than I would concentrate on, well, I need sand too. I was looking for this. I need to concentrate on that more than the resistance. But because his resistance is high, his growth is high, you can throw out like maybe like a 4 or 5 and not have to worry that much about his resistance, but you need to all in on his defense side just to push up his defense, because his growth on his defense is low. That means you just have to work harder. So I hope I explained that properly for people, so they stop thinking that just because you get the star 5 and you all of a sudden have 1500 defense, that does not mean that you're a tank. That just means you have 1500 defense, and the same characters that were level 1 with your other character now are level 100 with you will probably have like 2500 attack. So you kind of see where that's kind of a problem. So yeah, but again, also with this also helps you as far as making your build, because you can focus on certain things here. You have focus on your different characters. Like you see my characters, I have them focused in certain things. Like I want to give him life because he has good life. I have to work on earth, and he's one of the last things I have to work on, but I have to work on his earth and his life to make him actually be able to deal with being hit, because if somebody actually focuses him with a physical attack, they can wipe him out. Not so much with Sakura. Sakura's pretty, tanky, but her passive, which allows her to heal through damage, is automatically like just negating damage off the bat. So she's just pretty good when it comes to that. My lightning main, as you see, I put a lot of emphasis on my lightning main. The water is pretty good. He has the gold one. He has the wind resistance up right here. He has the sand, which the damage resistance up to 7. He has his earth up to this level right here, and Scorch is just there. I might actually change out Scorch. It's a little thing about the penetration stats. They benefit very little. They actually do benefit, but very little. The percentages on the penetration is so little that you have to decide, do you even want the extra 50 to 100 damage that it's going to do? Because I really didn't have anything else I wanted to put here at the time. Whether I'm just leaving it here until I get a gold gale, because if I get a gold gale, which is combo, then I'll throw it in here. But for now, because it actually does a little bit of a benefit off of damage, I just leave it there for now. But I'm definitely probably going to swap it out eventually. But that's about it as far as the extension to stats. This wasn't, I don't want this to be a super long video because we only got in the rune stones, and the rune stones have only pushed forward a few extra things. Like you can do some interesting stuff now. You can put some characters there that was a little bit hard to put there, like Kasame. Remember, Kasame should be slot 1. He can actually live a bit more. Like, I really wanted him to be slot 1, but if you guys remember, that experiment failed miserably because all people did was just kick his ass totally off the screen. And I really wanted him to be, be out there because his stuff is pretty good. He's pretty good overall, but he just wasn't living, man. But now with these rune stones, I can come through with that. I can get that out there and maybe put him out there. And then he has skill books on top of that. So when he has those skill books, bruh, he gonna be taking that chakra. I'm gonna have to go water main or something because I'm gonna be after people chakra. But that's just like I said, that's how you do it. Another thing right next to him is 1010. You throw that critical on 1010 along with her with injury, and get her that first round with my buoy. Well, I don't even think you can really do it all that well right now, but when that actually can happen, yeah, when she's gonna wipe people out. Still don't know why she does more than gold, but whatever. Another character that you can actually protect a lot more is Great Ninja War Neji. Great Ninja War Neji with critical and injury becomes a badass. If you stack that on him along with his rotation, he actually sits there for a long while right now. He was a little bit exposed before, but with that good concentration on that, it's pretty nasty. Another person who's nasty like that is Great Ninja War Keeper. When you put crit and injury on him, he does a lot of actual team damage, and he's more damaging than a lot of characters that we have right now. In the whole, you'll see that when left unchecked, he does a lot of ranked battle damage. So that's definitely something else you should keep out there. Tsuya, another character that people don't really pay attention to. Again, crit control and injury is good for her, and she becomes a problem the longer she's left out there. She just starts wiping people out. And I think everybody else is you just could kind of have common sense. The Choji is very beneficial. It's very beneficial for him to have that. Like, that he becomes able to even sit out there even longer and basically get his eating buff, his passive eating buff. You put him out there with 2 healers if you feel the need. Like, if you want to try to be badass and be gangster that I'll just put it out there. If you put him in the front the same way, if you do a team the same way that I do with my ranked battle team, and have him there with 2 healers constantly in heal, he also gets to a point where you just can't kill him. You won't be able to kill him. His defense is going to be so high that normal attacks won't be able to do anything to him, and then his attack on top of that is going to be massive. So he just ends up starting to one-shot people. I've tried it a few times, and he's just not as tanky as Kiyomaru, but I did have a few ranked battles where he was just left out there for a little while, and when he just demolished people, and it was pretty awesome. So just think about that. But thing with Choji, you're gonna have to spend. You're gonna have to invest in him. You're gonna have to invest in his mood and get that life mood up. See, I ain't invest shit. So, but you have to get that life mood up. Drop down. What I would do is I would drop down his attack, because it's gonna multiply anyway. So don't worry about that. I would drop down life and attack and leave everything else alone, because he's gonna need it. He's gonna need defense. He's gonna need Jitsu because it's part of his heal. So just drop down attack, and he's gonna demolish people. So that's just a little heads up for you guys, so you guys can figure out, make some builds, start using characters differently. And another character who is interesting, because this murderer's row right here, they all benefit from injury and critical, especially May. May starts wiping people the fuck out when she has that injury and critical. Keep that in mind. She's gonna hit 9 people. The same thing like Gaara. The same thing. Well, he doesn't hit 9 people, but he starts demolishing. Start thinking about Sasori, who also hits a lot of people. Hanzo, who hits a lot of people. Oniki hits a lot of people. Everybody who AoEs hits a ton of people, give them injury and critical, and just thank me in the morning. I will catch you guys next video. Hope you understood it, and peace. See you later.